go smoke? I guess so, yeah.
Come on, Gerhard, you hold things up.
Ready? Oh. The City of Vandalia Council meeting for May the 15th, 2017 will now come to order. We'll have a moment of reflection followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Will you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council members, you have had the opportunity to look over the council special meeting minutes of May the 1st, the council study session minutes of May the 1st, and also the council meeting minutes of May the 1st. Are there any corrections or revisions? Seeing none, they'll stand approved. We have no communications, petitions, or awards this evening, nor do we have any public hearings, and that brings us to comments from interested citizens. So if there's someone in the audience who would like to make a comment or two to the council, would you please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comments.
Good evening, Council. I'm Master Sergeant Hutchison from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, 445th AES. This is my brother, Technical Sergeant Hutchison from the 445th Security Force Squadron, and this is his son who'll be leaving in 20 days for Marine Corps boot camp. Wow. So that being said, a little over a year ago, I was presented with this flag of Vandalia, and I traveled it well. So it's been flown in a little over 20 countries, including it was flown in Iraq in April of 2016. So that being said, I would like to, on our behalf, present it back to the City of Vandalia tonight to you guys. So.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Did people question you as you were doing that, as you were going through your travels and carrying this with you?
No, they actually really like it. And a lot of people that we were transporting injured troops back home, they would see it flying on the plane or flying in the forward deployed area, and that they said it really brought them back to home. And anybody that was from Ohio, they didn't care if it wasn't their town. They loved it and got their picture with it. So it was very well received.
So how many pictures do you have?
Plenty.
Okay. Well, you have no idea how much we appreciate this and for everything that you do in addition to taking the flag with you. So thank you again.
Thank you guys for your support. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Good luck on boot camp.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to? Seeing none, we'll go on with our city manager's report, and we have some information items this evening. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, I've got 2 items this evening. First of all, city offices will be closed on Monday, May 29th in observance of Memorial Day. However, the rec center will be open from 7 to noon, but only the fitness area, the track, and the gymnasium. And just remind council and residents that we are in our summer session, or council will be in their summer session with their schedule. So the next meeting will be the 3rd Monday in June, which is Monday, June 19th. The study session will begin at 6, with the council meeting at 6:30.
Thank you. Action items, the extension of time for Foxfire sections 5, 6, and 7. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The developer of Foxfire subdivision has requested a 1-year extension of time until June 16th of 2018 for the construction of sidewalks on 9 undeveloped lots in the subdivision. 3 lots were developed last year.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve the extension of time for Foxfire Sections 5, 6, and 7 with the posted bond.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilman Herbst, so we do approve the extension of time for Foxfire Sections 5, 6, and 7. And what did you say with the bond?
With the posted cash
bond. Okay, great. Any comments or questions from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Faust?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. We have no old business this evening, and that brings us to our resolutions, the first one being Resolution 17-R-51. Mr. McDonald?
Resolution 17R51, a resolution declaring various items as surplus and authorizing disposal of such items.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. So each department has compiled a list of used, worn out, or surplus or obsolete equipment and materials that we would like council to consider declaring surplus and grant authorization to dispose of those items. The surplus items would be placed either on gov deals or otherwise disposed of by the city manager as provided by law.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 17-R51.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ehlers, second by Vice Mayor Lewis, that we do approve Resolution 17-R-51. And are there any comments from council? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Faust?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Resolution 17-R-52, by title only, please.
17R52, a resolution awarding the bid for the Recreation Center Aquatics Slide Tower project requested by the Parks and Recreation Department to Fryman Cook in the amount of $114,650 as the lowest and best bid.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Bids for the maintenance and repair of the rec center's concrete aquatic slide tower and slide support, along with the replacement of the slide tower stair railing, were opened on May 5th. 5 companies received bid packets and attended the mandatory pre-bid meeting. However, only one bid was received. The budget for this project is $101,200. Therefore, there's an overage of $13,450 that will be made up through existing appropriations in the rec centers or the recreation department's capital projects.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve Resolution 17R52 as presented. Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilman Gerhart, that we do approve Resolution 17-R-52 as presented. Once again, are there any comments? Anybody? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Faust?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Resolution 17-R-53, Mr. McDonald.
17R53, a resolution waiving the formal bidding and authorizing the city manager to enter into agreement with Christie's Family Pizzeria for the Castle Hills Pool concessions.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. So this resolution would authorize the Castle Hills Pool concession agreement for an additional 2 years with options for 3 one-year extensions. The city first contracted with Christie's for the 2015 season and had a 1-year option that was exercised. The terms of the original agreement will remain the same.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 17R53 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Forrest, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve Resolution 17-R-53. Comments from anyone? I think it was brought up in our study session that this has been very, very good for not only the customers, but also for the city to have this kind of service. So we thank you for that. Seeing none.
Councilmember Faust?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Resolution 17-R-54, Mr. McDonald.
17R54, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Compass Point Planning LLC for professional planning services associated with proposing amendments and revisions to the city's planning and zoning code.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. So a request for qualifications was issued for the update of the zoning code, with 4 firms submitting statements of qualifications. 2 firms were selected to be interviewed by a committee, and following those interviews, the committee unanimously recommended contracting with Compass Point Planning.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we.
Whoa, 2 of you are speaking at the same time. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
I'll take second. All right. Make a motion that we approve Resolution 17R54.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Councilman Herbst, that we do approve Resolution 17-R-54. Comments from anyone?
Just appreciate staff's help with getting this vendor, and I feel comfortable as well with this vendor. I think they are going to provide well for us. What I liked about them was the fact that they were looking for solutions as we sat and interviewed them, and as compared to the other one, it just is qualified, but more or less a cookie-cutter type of thing, and I think this group is looking out for our best interest, so I'll be anxious to see the finished product, and I think we'll be happy with it.
Great. Anyone else? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Farce?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the measure carries to 7-0. We have some ordinance in their first reading this evening, and that is Ordinance 17-13. Mr. McDonald.
Ordinance 1713, an ordinance approving a major amendment to the planned unit development for property located at 117 South Dixie Drive and owned by KH Properties LLC in the OS District with a PUD overlay.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. So Kathleen Humphrey, 117 South Dixie Drive, is requesting a PUD major amendment to allow the construction of a 6-foot-high wooden privacy fence along the side and rear property line. The property in question is office service and lies within the downtown PUD overlay. The site contains a 2-story office building that abuts multifamily residential to the rear. The purpose of the fence is for the safety and security of the office tenants, as well as to prevent dumping of trash or bulk items on the rear of the property. The Planning Commission reviewed this request at its April 25th meeting and voted 5-0 to recommend approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve Ordinance 17-13 in its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Farr, second by Councilman Ehlers, that we do approve Ordinance 17-13 in its first reading. Comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Farce?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. We do have an ordinance in its second reading this evening, and that is 17-04. Mr. McDonald.
Ordinance 1704, an ordinance approving a major amendment for a freestanding sign for the property located at 1620 Fieldstone Way and owned by Superior Abrasives LLC in the Office Industrial Park Zoning District with a PUD overlay.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. So Superior Abrasives is requesting a PUD amendment to allow an already installed directional sign that is 12 square feet in area and 5 feet in height, where the maximum square footage allowed is 3 square feet in area and maximum height is 3 feet. Again, so the Planning Commission reviewed this request at its January 10th meeting, and they voted 4-0 to recommend denial. The ordinance was originally introduced at Council's February 6th meeting, but it was tabled as Council directed staff to propose a modification to the city's directional signage regulations. Again, those modifications proposed by staff and recommended by the Planning Commission, which are being considered following this ordinance, again, would not bring Superior's existing directional sign into compliance. Therefore, it's necessary for Council to take action on this request.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Oh, this is an ordinance in its second reading, so we will open it up for a public hearing. And that is, if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment about this, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I move that we deny ordinance 1704 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Farce, second by Vice Mayor Lewis, that we deny ordinance 17-04 in its second reading. Any comments?
I'm curious. I know we tabled this previously, but it automatically comes back as a second reading after we table it?
Well, we passed it on to the second reading, but never took the action. We tabled it pending the outcome of the ordinance changes, because at that point we didn't know perhaps it would be in compliance, and so now it just comes back as the second reading because it was still floating out there.
Okay.
What was their response to any of this, John? I might have missed it, but
You mean Superior Abrasives?
yes.
Amber? I guess the question was, what has Superior Abrasives' response been to, I guess, our proposal that the increase in square footage that would still not accommodate their sign?
What was?
Yeah.
Yep. It had a setback issue also, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the sign was going to have to be relocated.
right.
The question is
Wrong
whether or
size,
not,
but it was in the wrong place.
correct, it was going to have to be moved back like 12 feet, I believe. But
So
now it's going to
that-
take a different
is
sign.
Moving the sign part of this ordinance we're talking about?
Well, it's not included, but they have to, the sign's in the right of way. It has to be moved
Right.
regardless
So
of
if
what.
we're in favor of the sign, knowing it has to be moved,
Yeah,
the appropriate vote now would be no, since they proposed
yeah.
to deny it.
No, if you're in favor of the sign as it exists, your vote would be, no on this motion to deny.
Okay.
Again, but again, I think at this point, the only, the variance is for the size and height, not for the location. So it's, even if you approve the sign as it is, it has to be moved.
Still has,
Correct.
yeah, everybody
Yes.
knows it has to
Yes,
be moved.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Councilmember Gerhardt.
No.
Councilmember Farce.
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst.
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers.
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion to deny the ordinance is passed 6-1. Okay, ordinance 17-12. Mr. McDonald.
Ordinance 1712, an ordinance amending subsection 1282.06K of the Vandalia zoning code regarding directional and instructional signs.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Okay, I'll try to make this quick, but I don't think I can. So our zoning code permits directional and instructional signs in business, office, and industrial or public facility districts that don't exceed 3 square feet in area and 3 feet in height. 2 directional signs per driveway are permitted. Council did direct staff to review directional signage regulations of area jurisdictions to determine if Vandalia's regulations were too strict. So Amber did conduct a survey of surrounding communities. We found that Vandalia's regulations were the most restrictive, but not significantly. So based upon that information, staff recommended to council that directional and instructional signs in the industrial district only be increased to a maximum of 6 square feet in area. Again, the height would remain the same. The Planning Commission reviewed that information at its February 28th meeting, and they voted 4-0 to recommend approval. So we brought that information to council at your March 6th meeting, and at that meeting, council directed staff to propose a modification to allow for a greater sign area if the 2 allotted directional signs per driveway were combined. So based on that direction, staff recommended to allow 2 directional signs in the industrial district to be combined for a total of 9 square feet, which is 75% of the combined area of both signs. The Planning Commission reviewed that information at its April 11th meeting and voted 4-0 to recommend approval.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in the second reading, once again, I will open it up for a public hearing. And if there's anyone who would like to make comment, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Your Honor, I move that we approve ordinance 17-12 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilman Ehlers, that we do approve ordinance 17-12 in its second reading. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Farce?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. We have no emergency ordinances this evening, and that brings us to our reports from boards and commission. You have the one from the Civil Service draft minutes of April the 10th, 2017. Are there any questions or comments about those? Seeing none, the bill listing for April 2017 in the amount of $2,944,019.41. And that brings us to comments for this evening. Mr. McDonald? Nothing tonight. Mr. Cruzy?
Just two quick items, Your Honor. Remind everyone that our Shred Day is coming up. It is this Friday. It's in the Municipal Building parking lot from 9 to noon. And this year's event is sponsored by Universal One Credit Union. Also remind everyone that this week is Public Works Week. So our local elementary schools will be out at the Public Works facility on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. That's all I have.
Oh, okay. I'm going to start with Councilman Ehlers.
Nothing tonight. Thank you.
Councilman Blakesley.
It was just a real honor to receive the flag back from our service personnel and be proud to fly that over the city.
Thank you. Councilman Herbst.
Upon entering the building today, you can't help but notice the Vandalia Butler Senior Art Show that's currently going on. It's going to be going on for the next 10 days, and it does appear that we have quite a few young, aspiring artists amongst us, and I would encourage anybody to take a look at the projects and the arts that they've done. It's really, really good.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you. Councilman Gerhardt.
Yeah, just one comment on our study session tonight. With regards to this mulch processing facilities, when we have citizens at our meetings that have sat through an hour, I think we should rearrange our schedule to get that out there, as to not make them sit through a council meeting and then come back after that. I feel if they're there, we should probably delay something with city staff rather than make them sit through it and then sit through a council meeting. I would consider it to be probably just polite to get to their issues before our council meeting.
And I will make one comment about that, and that is we have tried to do that in the past. Little did we know that our staff this evening was going to be so extensive in their explanation. So I do apologize for it.
Yeah, I'm just saying for
no,
them.
I
not
agree with
me,
you.
But
Yeah, and we have done that, and I agree with you totally. Time just escaped this evening, but
okay, I just wanted that.
well, no, it's greatly appreciated. Councilwoman Farce.
I just want to say that retired school teacher, art teacher, Ken Smith, was the judge on the student show today, and that information will come out at their memorial or honors program on Thursday night. So it'll be a secret until then. Also, John sent us information, and I've kind of posted it on my Facebook about the website to put your garage sale information out, and could you explain that, because I can't rattle that off real quick, but it was very interesting, and I think our citizens will really enjoy that this year.
Yeah, if residents go to the city's homepage, which is vandaliaohio.org, they can, we've got a button on there if you're having a garage sale. You can click on that, and then you can upload your address, the days and times you're going to have your garage sale, as well as some of the items you're going to have available at your garage sale. The city's going to put together a map that will do two things. I think like Wednesday or Thursday of this week, we'll put together the map. We'll make it available in a PDF form so people can download it on their computer, download it on their phone, or we'll have a hard copies available that will have information showing the locations of those folks that registered their garage sales with the city, as well as another sheet with a detailed description of the addresses and some of the items that are for sale at those locations.
Great.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. I was just going to, in that regard, I know we had a citizen complain about his garage sale signs, and realizing that we need to enforce the code, but we might want to not be so vigilant on our big garage sale weekend with these signs until after the event is over. I would just suggest that might be a better approach.
Well, I hear comments from other folks to the contrary, so.
Very good. I'm sure you do.
But we will do. And I guess the other thing I need to mention on that website, again, I need to give credit to Amber and Rob and Rich and Chad in GIS for putting all that together. It was their idea.
And it's a great solution to the problem, too. It provides an outlet with the help of the city.
Councilwoman Forrest, would you like to say anything else?
No, I'm through. Thank you.
Okay. Vice Mayor Lewis.
No comment other than to echo Mr. Blakeslee's comments and thank the airmen for the presentation of the flag. I think that's really something kind of special. It'd be sort of nice if we could display that someplace.
I was going to ask
particularly.
staff if there was someplace. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. For the last couple of weeks, I've had the great experience of attending the Citizens Police Academy. And I know that it goes on, I think they have it twice a year, but learned a lot, and it was fun. And I would just suggest that anybody that sees it advertised, don't hesitate to sign up and go. It'll be very much worth your while. And this is also Police Week, and that's why you see the unmanned police vehicle along with a wreath out there at the corner of our City of National and Bohanna Memorial Drive. So do appreciate everybody having said something this evening. It was nice. So anybody else want to say anything since we're kind of open here and just having a general conversation? Well, seeing none, we will adjourn, but we will return to our study session. Got a frog.
You know, it comes and goes for me. I would barely say yes.
Well, this weather isn't helpful, I'll tell you.
Well, no, I think the idea was
So the one that they built is still too big.
it's still too big and it has to be moved. It just didn't work.